recording now. So we are now talking to the lovely Lisa from Mooch and Gander, and we are talking this time about the fact that on May the 9th, it is Made in the UK Day. It's the first time we've had a Made in the UK Day. It's been brought about by makeitbritish.co.uk, who have been around for about 10 years. And so the reason why we're talking to Lisa is because Mooch and Gander are an online, like an online marketplace for all things dog, and they have got some brilliant things that are homemade, handmade, but most importantly made in the UK. So what I would like to do, Lisa, would you like to just kind of introduce yourself and Mooch and Gander a little bit as to who you are and how long have you been going and why are you going, and also more importantly, why homemade, why, you know, the handmade and homemade side of things?
Absolutely delighted. Thank you for having me onto your show again. I really love chatting to you, Jo. So yes, I am Lisa Baptiste, the face behind or in front of Mooch and Gander. We launched in November 2020, so we've actually just celebrated our 4-month birthday. Yeah, so we cracked open the dog treats and treated ourselves to some cupcakes, and obviously it's really important. We've got to be able to, we have to taste test everything. If we can't eat it, we're not selling it.
To be fair, some of the stuff that is handmade for dogs is absolutely fantastic to look at, isn't it? And you kind of think,
yeah,
I've got my own stuff here, but that looks really good.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, when it comes to the food and the treats, which I know we did talk about last time, we're talking, human grade. So absolutely. All it's lacking is salt and sugar. So it may not be to your taste, but
it's probably better for us than our own stuff.
Absolutely. I'm sure some of those weight watching type places, I can't think what they're called, those clubs, swimming clubs, as my son used to call them, would say, yes, they're great, eat those because they don't have salt and sugar in them. But anyway, yes. So yeah, Mooch and Gander, I guess the best way to describe us is we are a similar platform to Etsy. So it's that kind of community, but we are purely pet products. We're actually dog and cat products. We have a few bits and pieces for the small pets, and interestingly enough, some of our products actually cross over into equine. So that's great because there's lots of people out there who own dogs who also own horses. So that's, superb. So we, as I say, we started only 4 months ago. We have just over 70 partners. Gosh. And all of our partners are UK small businesses or medium-sized businesses or artisans, which covers the more local handmade ethos. Yes. But the idea of Mooch and Gander is to be a one-stop place for all things natural, healthy, planet-friendly or eco-conscious for your pets, to make it a lot easier to get to shop, really. Everything's all in one place, everything from nose to tail.
And I would say I have been on Mooch and Gander's site quite a few times, particularly in the last few weeks where we've been talking about so many bits and pieces between us. Here's an example, just a list of some of the things that are on here that are actually handmade as well. And these are all related around the dog side of things, because obviously I have dogs. So we've got things like treats and biscuits, which you'd expect, but you can get collars, you can get leads, and even things like little bows that go on top of the collars. And there's some really cute ones there. You've got cards, greeting cards and notebooks and things like that. So all kinds of stationery. And because they're handmade, you can get them personalised a lot of the time as well. I know you've got someone that I know well. You've got Steph from Swoopsies on there, and she does personalised, all completely done by herself, by hand, digital tunes, and she's actually done my logo. You've got things like jewellery and charms and necklaces and things like that. So you know, if you've got your dog's paw print, you can have that made, actually handmade into silver, which is amazing. And I'm actually, the people doing this, I've started talking to them about getting something made up for Echo the duck.
I was just about to say, don't leave the duck out.
I'm not going to leave the duck out. So normally you'd get like a paw print done of your cat or your dog, but actually we're looking into seeing if we can get a good print of Echo to get something made up for her. Why not branch out? So you've got all ways to go. You've got the horses, but you're going to have the ducks and the chickens, because, you know, I'm going to just force it on you, really.
Yes, you're right. And I should have actually said we do have a few products for the hens, for the ladies.
There you go, you see. There you go. But we've also got, what we got here, balms. So homemade, handmade balms for nose and paw. Beds. Some of the beds on there are absolutely fantastic. And you just wouldn't know that they were handmade on the website, but of course when you see the quality in person, it's hugely different. So I've got Ripley trying to, I don't know where she's going, under my armpit at the moment. Snuffle mats, good old snuffle mats, which are brilliant. Fabulous. You know, it's a lovely thing to be able to make those, because again, you can have them personalized colours and things like that. And I saw them and I wasn't sure what they were until I clicked on them, but glass memorials. So actually, obviously handmade, home blown, if you like.
Hand blown. They're absolutely stunning. You can choose colours, and it's a really beautiful way to sort of incorporate a little bit of your, you know, beloved fur family, their ashes, you know, swirling amongst those colours, you know, taking pride of place on your mantelpiece or wherever. What better way to sort of say, you know, you were and are so special to us and will always be our family.
Absolutely. And there were different, you've got different shapes, sizes, colours, you know, so you literally can find something that would call to you and think, yeah, that makes me think of my pet. You know, it's not just one size fits all. And they were beautiful. So I sort of the colours caught my eye. I thought, oh, what is that? Let's have a little look. Yeah, absolutely beautifully done, and even nicer that they're handmade. You know, they're not just mass produced. That they're that personal.
And what's really amazing about that particular partner is she started, like many of our partners who are artisans, in the, you know, like the first lockdown, because her core business came to a complete halt.
Yeah.
What she actually is a celebrant.
Oh, wow.
As we know, the wedding business completely, you know, ground to a halt.
Ground to a halt, yeah.
And so she's pivoted and working alongside this amazing glass blower. And together, the two of them have created this really unique, the very first of its kind here in the UK.
Oh, wow.
And we are thrilled. You know, he wants to be with us at Mooch Gander.
Fantastic.
Very exciting.
Gosh, that's a lovely story actually as well. That's a huge pivot, isn't it?
It is
different. Wow. Whereas, you know, you see a lot of people online that have pivoted from, like, going from, like yourself, you know, you're already in pet business and you've carried on the pet business a different way. To go from celebrant to memorials for pets and the glass side of things, that's hugely different, and you can't get much more personal than that. It's obviously something that means a lot to them, which then means that it means a lot to the people they do it for, which is beautiful, really. You know, and I've lost pets myself. We all have, most of us have at one point or another that are listening, and it does make a difference if it is something that's totally personal, and you can talk to people and communicate with them and say what it is you're after. It's
made love, isn't it? And it becomes a partnership and a journey between the pet parent and the artisan who is creating. We have another lady who does a similar memorial product, but also it's not just a memorial product, it's a product that you can also celebrate your puppy or your kitten moving from that stage by keeping a lovely mosaic memory of their first bowl, their first collar, perhaps the tag, and it's created in the shape of the letter of their of your
Oh
pet name.
wow! Oh, that's cool. I
So,
like that. I didn't see that.
yeah.
Let's have a look.
Now, obviously, if you're doing it as a memorial product, again, what this maker will do is she will again take a little bit of the ashes and she'll incorporate that into the fabric of the mosaic.
Wow.
But you know, she also was thinking, well, actually, one of the things with the rise of puppies during lockdown is that then once the puppy gets past that puppy stage, everyone's like, oh, should we get another puppy? Well, actually, no, don't go collecting. It's a lovely mosaic of all your puppy's favorite little bits and pieces, maybe a little toy. And, you know, she literally breaks up a bowl, a china bowl, and puts it all together in this lovely mosaic. Again, totally original. There's nothing like it.
No, I've
She's
never
the first.
not heard of it. That's
Yeah.
amazing because you do, you know, they do grow up really quickly. As much as we want the puppies to stay puppies to a degree, and even, you know, I've got small dogs, yet they still grow out of puppy and become
Yes.
adults and look completely different. And then you do still, like you say, you have their puppy bowl and you've got their puppy collar, and it's like, well, I want to keep them because they're my dogs, but what do I
Yes.
do with them? I don't just want them
Exactly.
stuck in the drawer cluttering up the place. What's the point of that? You know, I've had 4 Norwich Terriers so far. That's a lot of stuff sitting in drawers. But
And
actually,
how
to have it made
lovely.
into something.
Well, how lovely would that have been if you literally had, you know, a mosaic letter of each of your dogs
Yeah.
at whatever stage, the stage that they were as a puppy or when they've crossed over the rainbow
Yeah.
bridge. But actually it becomes, you know, part of your home decor.
Exactly.
How lovely, you know. But you talked about the snuffle mats. Now, she again is a lady that has pivoted. And again, one of the things she does is she works very closely with the pet parent. So if they've got an item of their own clothing, if they have a dog blanket that perhaps was the pet's first blanket or a blanket that's gone a bit past it, but they love the blanket, again, you can ask her to incorporate that into the snuffle mat.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Oh, what a brilliant idea. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so nice.
All on Mooch and Gander. How amazing that I find all these, but no,
Well,
but
I was just thinking, as each person you're talking about, and you know kind of their backstory and how they've pivoted, I just think that's absolutely lovely as the
shivers, doesn't
owner
it?
of the shop, yeah, the owner of this brilliant handmade and you know natural and everything marketplace for pets. I think it's brilliant that you know everyone so well. You know their backstory. You know what they're
Yes.
doing. You know why they're doing it, and you can kind of feel the love and the passion that each individual seller has coming through you, which is really
Yes.
great. And
I mean, that's why we call them partners,
yeah,
not vendors.
absolutely, absolutely. And as someone that would be a consumer and someone that would be buying, it's really lovely to think that if I was contacting you to say, okay, so this is what I need, I don't really know what to buy, I don't really know what I want, that actually you would be able to guide. It wouldn't just be a case of, well, we've got that or that in stock, what do you want? But you
Exactly.
actually, you know the people, you know whether this person might be better suited or this item might work better because it could be personalized in a different way. And I would, you know, I've got loads of snuffle mats, and I know loads of people that sell them and make them, but I've not heard of anyone making them quite so personal as to actually include part of blankets or items that were part of the dogs. That's absolutely
Which
brilliant.
again, you know, this is all, you know, I think one of the things that's so key about the campaign to buy British is actually about the carbon paw print of our pets.
Got that written down.
Absolutely. So, you know, when you're talking about buying local, supporting UK business, when you in sort of, you know, mix that together with, you know, some of these wonderful makers who are also upcycling,
Yeah.
you know, you're ticking all those lovely boxes of items not ending up in landfill, actually also helping charity shops, because again, we have people that rely on the charity shops and the donations of others to create their beautiful pet accessories, dog coats, snoods, the bow ties that you talked about. They are made using cloth that isn't wanted or loved anymore,
Yes.
and ends up in a charity shop.
Yes.
So we're all about collaboration, and again, I think that's something that is so it's so important now with buying British. It's actually thinking about how can these artisans work with manufacturers in the UK, producers of the raw material in the UK, the farmers, the fishing industry, all of those create byproducts, and those byproducts can easily become natural, healthy pet treats and products.
Absolutely. Yeah, they really can. But staying with the like you mentioned, the paw print, carbon paw print, which I like.
Yeah.
But keeping things, or not keeping things, but by being aware of buying British and the handmade side of things, and things being in this country. Some other things that you're doing is all of these wonderful people that have got these skills, you're keeping the skills going, because if we don't use them, they're going to eventually die out. There's no reason to pass it on to anyone. People aren't going to want to learn how to do it, and you're going to lose skills and craftsmanship and all this lovely work. It's just going to disappear completely, isn't it? So actually,
I mean, we all love the sewing bee. Well, we don't all love it. I love the sewing bee. We've all got behind the Great British Sewing Bee, the Great British Bake Off, and there are, the Great Pottery Throwdown.
That's it,
Absolutely fantastic skills, creative skills in this country, some of which are now making a resurgence, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, because during lockdown, people have had the time to say, actually, I'm going to take on a hobby. And they've found that they're really good at making things out of leather or whatever. And, they may have decided, actually, my dog could do with a new collar or coat. I'm going to get the sewing machine out. But it is about, redefining and actually getting ourselves back on that stage.
Yes.
And saying, look, what we can do here in the UK. We have got an amazing, workforce of skilled labour, skills that are from a time from years ago where everything was handmade before manufacturing in larger processes. And the two sit together very nicely. There's no reason why not. And we love being the champions of these wonderful makers and just like pushing them out there onto the stage, like those nagging, stage mums. Come on, get up there, show everyone what you can do with it,
mum.
Absolutely, go on, get out there. Don't care if you've got stage fright, you can do it. Go on, you push them out there.
I've seen loads actually the last few months, especially on Facebook. I've seen loads of people that have taken up crochet that never did it before. Knitting's got popular, hasn't it, in the last sort of year or so? Very, very popular.
Yes.
There's and like you say, you might start trying something out just because you've got a pet at home that you think, oh, I'll just make that. Doesn't matter what it looks like, really. And then someone else will see it and say, oh, would you do that for my dog or my cat or whatever it might be? Yeah, I'll make a couple for you, don't worry. And then suddenly people are going, well, that's so individual, and oh my God, I can have any colour. Oh my God.
Yes.
And our pets are so individual,
Yes.
I've got two of the same breed here, but they are so different. It's unbelievable. So normally you can, if I want to get them a coat, for example, you go online or you go into a shop, at some point in the future, and you look and you go, right, I need this size, and I can choose from pink or blue or maybe black. Okay. And my breed, they're a bit, they've got quite wide chest for a small terrier, very few things fit them perfectly, in fairness. So you end up sort of having to get one that's a little bit too big, or it's too long in the body. But you can find someone through your fantastic online marketplace where you can say, okay, this is the sort of size I need. Is it possible to add a zip? Is it possible to make it a little bit shorter here? Yeah. You know, I really like that colour. Do you think
how posh is that?
Sorry?
I mean, how posh is that? Made
Exactly.
Yeah,
that without reach. When Cassie was young, you know, when Cassie was kind of like 3, 4, 5 years old, and I'm going back now sort of 15, 16 years, if I wanted that, I'd have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for it, because it would be such a specialized thing. And it would be a case of, I need to get the materials in, I need to order that in, I need to order this in, you know, and it would still be a case of, I can do it, but you've only got limited options still. I can still only do that in that material or that colour, or, you know, I can make it a bit shorter, but that's going to cost quite a lot of money. Whereas actually now people are doing it because they love doing it, not because it's a chore for them. And they're saying, yeah, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can get for you. You know, I've got a great person down the road that sells fabric, or like you say, there's a charity shop I know that's got brilliant bits and pieces in. I'll go and see what I can get for you, and I'll make it, and we'll liaise, and I'll see if you need it adjusting anymore again. It's so brilliant. It's such a lovely service to have it handmade and have it personalised. And like you say, you're getting the skills going, and the more people use their skills, the bigger they're getting.
And, you know, then you know, by default, when you take your dog out, it's wearing its lovely made to measure coat. And then you've created this whole kind of FOMO, and you've got, you know, little Charlie from down the road walking towards your dog, who's now like got like, oh, who do you think you are in that coat? And then literally you just like, you know, that Charlie's going to be going home and getting his paws on that laptop and just tap, 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 moochandgander.com. Okay, right. Handmade bespoke. Okay, right. Oh, I want it in that color and I want it in that size. And Mum, can you measure me properly? Yeah.
I can imagine it. I've seen it happen.
I mean, all I can say is it's a good job they don't have opposable thumbs, really, isn't it? Because
I think so.
Yeah. So we actually do have parental controls on the website.
Love it.
To stop the dogs and cats making purchases that their parents don't know about.
Exactly, because they can't measure themselves, and you get all sorts of stuff coming through, wouldn't you? And they'll go, oh, that wasn't the colour I thought it was. Sorry, it looked like blue on the screen because, you know, I'm a dog. But
blue black dress. This is where we're going with this. Blue is black.
Gold and black.
Gold. Whatever.
Silver and blue, gold and black.
But no, absolutely. I mean, we've got a lady up in Scotland who makes the most amazing robes for dogs, for working breeds and for any breed. But the beautiful thing about them is they come in loads and loads of sizes. The material is made in the UK. They're put together in the UK. The whole thing about it says UK. You can do it. And how lovely did these dogs look? I mean, when you have a look at them, and it could be in tartan or lovely toweling, but they're great if you have taken your dog for a massive run through puddles or whatever. You put one of those on and pop them in the car, and they're dry by the time, you know, you get home, and you can just throw it in the washing machine. It's not come in a brown box with a smiley arrow on it, delivered by someone who's thrown it out your front door. It hasn't come on a container.
It's not full of extra packaging.
And you know, look, the beautiful thing about made in the UK as well is, you know, some of these makers they're not just solopreneurs working by themselves. They're actually, you know, small businesses. So there's job opportunities. They're creating job opportunities. You know, and we have to remember that, you know, we are coming out of, hopefully, the next lockdown, hopefully not going into another one, but industry across the world has been affected. But let's talk about the UK. Let's not be shy.
Yeah.
We've come out of the EU.
Absolutely.
Let's not be shy and say, look, if we're not going to shout about the wonderful skill force we have in this country, the trades, the fact that we're, by shopping local,
Yes.
we are putting into the local economy.
Yep.
If
Absolutely.
we don't talk about it, well, no one else is going to
No
talk
one
about it.
will. No, absolutely. And like you say, all these lovely people that are doing these brilliant jobs, which may have started as a hobby years ago, but they've become a passion for their livelihood. They all get forgotten about, and it is much easier to go quickly online and just go to somewhere and go, I'll just click that, next day delivery done.
And we all do it.
But
Look,
it's not as satisfying.
I do it. We do it.
Yeah.
But it's not satisfying. There's no love behind it. And also, the quality may not be as great.
Nope.
Obviously, some things, not everything, but some things, the quality can be a little bit shoddy. And then it just ends up in landfill.
Yeah.
So, by shopping local, by going to these wonderful makers, by looking at handmade, every stitch or every ingredient has got a story behind it,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
a passion behind it. And, for so many of our makers and our artisans, our partners, however we want to describe them, for them, this has been a time to reinvent themselves as well.
Definitely.
And look at their life and say, well, actually, the last 30 years of being in corporate has been great, but I've had enough of it. I actually now want to do something that I have a passion for.
Yes.
We're only here once.
The passion shows, doesn't it? When it's something handmade, it comes through, and you can just see it straight away. And when I've ordered things that have been handmade from different places, and they come and the packaging's so lovely, and it's all recyclable, and it's wrapped in the biscuits you kindly sent me the other week. You'd wrap them up. They were in beautiful tissue paper with the sticker on it, and just little things like that makes you smile. You open it up and you go,
yeah,
it's not just been thrown from the other side of the room, or if it has, it's been done very expertly. It's just nice.
Isn't it? It makes you feel special.
You often get a little note in there from the sellers as well, saying, "Oh, thank you for buying from me," and it's just everything about it is just nicely done, isn't it? Which means if you're buying it for you and your own dogs or cats, then it just think, oh, that's so nice. Look at all this. Look what we've got here. But if you're buying something for a friend or a family member and either getting it sent to you and then you give it to them, or you're getting it sent straight to them.
Yes.
What a lovely thing for someone to open and think,
Absolutely.
oh, you've sent this to, oh my God, look at this. And it's just beautifully done, isn't it? So,
and the boxes, I mean, you can reuse those boxes. And if you have cats, well, they don't care about the contents. They just want the box.
They just want the box. Just order a box. A box inside a box.
It's a win-win, really, isn't it? It's a win-win.
The box that you sent the biscuits in, it was a perfect size. I was teaching where I was doing my 28 days of tricks in February. One of the tricks that was just coming up was for dogs to close a drawer or a door. And I just needed something small that had a hinge on it just to show something very quickly. So I said, oh, I've got a brilliant box here from Mooch Gander. Let me just tip it on its side, take the biscuits out, tip it on its side. There you go. And they were there. The dogs were there, shutting it with their paw. So see, perfect box, because it's robust, it's the right size. Everything you need in a box.
It's the gift that just keeps giving.
Keeps giving. And it's now in my office waiting to be used again.
There you go. And when it's completely unusable, the beautiful thing about that is all our packaging comes from UK manufacturers.
Right.
And we choose the eco-friendly packaging, so it is biodegradable.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So it's all about it's the whole circle.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Then it can start again. It can go into something else, which will be equally fantastic and reusable.
Absolutely.
So with all of these brilliant people that you've got. So I really love that you mentioned earlier that you called it a community. I think that's fantastic. It goes back to the personalized side of things, for not just for the people buying, but actually for your partners as well. It's just a really lovely way of seeing it. It's not just, well, we're hosting this, you pay us some money and we'll ship it out the door. It's nothing like that whatsoever. It's so personal and so individual that it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you, as a consumer, because it's not something you come across very often at all. So with all of these bits and pieces that are made, you know, the skills in here, as I said before, are absolutely fantastic. What I would say to people is we've got a lot of days coming up. Obviously, we're talking specifically about Made in the UK Day on the 9th of March, but you've got Mother's Day coming up, we've got Easter coming up.
Yep.
God knows what else. I can't even remember what else. I know we've got National Terrier Day. It's their first one coming up on the end of this month. I think it's the 27th. There's loads of stuff coming up. I'm going to suggest that people listening go over to Mooch Gander, have a look through, because you're going to be amazed. Whether you want treats for your dog or not, go and look at something else, because you're going to find, you know, the notebooks, for example, you know, cards and notebooks were absolutely fantastic. Considering just the card or a notebook.
Oh, I know.
Beautiful. And I saw that the cards, you can have personalization on the front of the cards as well. And they're just, and again, they're all individual because they're all made by hand.
They're all craft, you know. They make great, I mean, we've got a couple on there, you know, perfect for Mother's Day. You've got a couple on there that you can have personalized for Mother's Day. We've got one of our makers who, if you are a Labrador fanatic, you can have Labradors in all 3 colors on aprons, on oven gloves. I mean, how lovely to get your mum, you know, to basically say, look, we love your cooking and we know you love Labradors, so here's some oven gloves and an apron with your favorite coloured Labrador on. So get in that kitchen
and show us how much you're thankful.
Show us how much you love us. Your baking and your roast dinner.
Exactly.
And here's the matching notebook, so you can write down recipes. I mean, you know, you could go crazy, but it's absolutely fabulous. And actually, that particular maker, she also does lovely tote bags as well.
I didn't see the bags, but I did see the other bits and pieces, the oven gloves and that. I did
and we love a tote bag. I mean, don't you just love a bag for life?
God, yeah.
Boxes, you know, really fabulous. And again, that's going to create FOMO when you're going around a leading supermarket. Ooh, where did you get that lovely chocolate Labrador canvas bag from? Oh, well, it's actually a gift from my daughter, because I'm her favorite mother. Anyway, but you know, so look, there's lots of ideas on there for Mother's Day. So you literally, like you just said, you know, you're supporting lots of different holidays. You know, buy British, make it in the UK Day, you know, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Terrier Day. You know, I'm sure there's, I mean,
anniversaries.
You know, but why not? You know, it isn't, you don't just have to go on to some of these other websites that are available for you know, which can take you forever to sort of get through. Literally 15,000, you know, shops or million shops. You know, we have got it all kind of honed down, and because it's pet centric, it just makes it a lot easier. Everything's all in one place, you know, nose to tail, and gifts for pet parents. Absolutely. And all made in the UK. I mean, what's not to love?
I just think it's really brilliant. I love it. And I know lots of people, and I as I'm looking through stuff, you know, I've got terriers, so terrier stuff would obviously call out to me, but also then I'll see something else and I think, oh, I know someone that would love that. I mean, I literally could just spend a year's worth of wages, you know, in a very short space of time with the amount of people that I know, and they'd like that, and they'd like that, and they'd like this. That's ridiculous. That's just so much.
I have a weakness for sausage dogs.
Right, yeah, my husband does actually. John does.
Absolutely, and sorry, I don't think the Kennel Club would like me calling them that. Dachshunds. I particularly love a wire-haired, a
Yes.
teckle. I mean, if ever a breed was born old,
Oh,
and that, little old lady or a little old man, I just adore them. And, you talked about Swoopsy. I mean, how lovely, to have your precious dog, your precious, pet child, you know, encapsulated
yeah,
in a lovely, and she's done some lovely dactions, and
she has. Yeah.
we've got other artists on there, more sort of fine art,
Yes.
absolutely
It's
stunning.
amazing, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely
Stunning.
amazing.
I mean, obviously there's something to fit everybody's budget.
Oh God, yeah.
I think it's important to remember, yes, it is cheaper to buy products that aren't made in the UK. Often it is more expensive to buy locally, but there's a reason for that. And if what you're
Exactly.
getting is quality, if what
Mhm.
you're getting is supporting and uplifting and championing skills and
It doesn't need replacing every few months.
absolutely, exactly. My mum used to say to me, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Exactly.
And like with school shoes,
Yes.
how many times did you sort of say, oh no, I'm just going to go and get them from a supermarket instead of queuing up at the old shoe shop down the road?
My mum
And when
always got me proper shoes, always,
yeah,
and they
oh,
lasted.
absolutely, because you're going to be in them all the time, and it's the
Exactly.
same with collars and
Mm.
dog coats
Yeah,
and
things like collars and leads. You want
yeah,
them to be strong and last. You don't want the chance of them breaking while you're down the road somewhere. You want them to be
yeah.
nice and strong. Yeah, definitely.
We've got everything from leather to biothane, which is
Yes,
great,
brilliant.
great, waterproof.
Mm.
Okay, so biothane isn't manufactured in the UK. That's just
Yeah.
one of those things, but that doesn't mean to say it isn't going to be.
No,
And
exactly. It's being used a lot more. I'm seeing a lot of collars
absolutely,
and products for dogs that are biothane
it's
because it is so
waterproof,
hard wearing.
comfortable. Yes, absolutely. You can wipe it down, and you can really, like you were saying, yes, you might have two dogs of the same breed, but they've got their own personalities, and you want to show that in the colors that
Yes.
you have their collars and their coats. And that's the thing that biothane can do,
Yep.
that leather can't. Cork, some of our makers have beautiful cork products. I mean,
Yes.
really
Yeah.
lovely, again, highly sustainable, waterproof.
Mhm.
It can be come in different colorways.
Yeah.
Cork is not a UK raw
No.
material, but so that that's acceptable. I mean, we not everything,
No. We can only do so much.
exactly. We have done a really good job in the UK
Exactly. Yeah.
stamping on our traditional industries and looking elsewhere for them. But now, but now we realise that was a big mistake. So we've
Exactly.
lifted our heavy boot off and said, no, we're actually going to rebuild. And but that's great.
It is. It really is. So I had bits of questions that I'd sort of jotted down as we were talking, and then as I was jotting them down, you were kind of answering them as you were talking yourself. So
I'm so sorry. I know you just need to
So
shut me
that's
up.
no,
Really.
no, not at all. It's just been flowing so lovely, which it's done previously as well, which I knew it would be lovely talking to you again today. So what we'll do then, I think. Sorry.
If you want, Joe, what I can do is I can do some ums and some pauses, and do some. I'm lost for words. I can't answer that because that what we don't want is your listeners to think this doesn't sound very authentic.
No,
So
not at all. No, not at all. Honestly, you can hear. I can hear it. I'm sure my listeners can hear it as well. It's we're just chatting. We're just chatting about something we're passionate about. Nothing wrong with that.
we're
If you
two
can't be
very
passionate
passionate
about it,
people.
yes. So what we will sort of wrap up with is just to remind you again, Made in the UK Day is on the 9th of March, which comes from the make. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, make it British. I can't read my own handwriting. Makeitbritish.co.uk. So it's just a chance to kind of shout out about all the brilliant things that we do in the UK, really, and all of the skills and the craftsmanship and the materials, I can't think of the words, that we have here, and just to have a little look further afield and see what is out there, because you might be surprised. You know, I am always on sites for dog products, and I'm magazines and bits and pieces like that, and talking to people online, so I generally know about quite a lot of things, but even I hadn't seen things that you've got there. Like I say, the glass memorials thing was just something that really stood out to me, and certainly some of the cards were beautiful. Well, they all were, but some of them really stood out as being spectacular. So it's worth looking about. You've got Mooch and Gander to look at. You've got all sorts of places to look at for homemade and handmade and UK made, all of those put together. So yeah, I urge you, have a little look around, see what there is. Treat your dog, treat yourselves if you want to. Why not?
Absolutely.
Now's a great time to do it while we can.
Not just the hound pound.
Sorry?
It's not just the hound pound.
Exactly. So thank you so much for coming back and talking to us, Lisa. It's absolutely brilliant. If people do want to go online and look for Mooch and Gander, what is your website of your lovely online community, please?
Really straightforward, moochandgander.com.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And you can find Mooch and Gander obviously online. They're on Facebook. They are on Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter.
You are on Twitter as well. So I lose track of who's on what. I'm on so many different social medias, and not everyone's on everything. And then I start going, oh yes, you can find them here and here. Oh no, you can't find them there.
But we're even on LinkedIn.
And you're on LinkedIn. There you go. You're everywhere. So yes.
Send us a woof. Send us a meow.
Yes. And if you have already bought something from them, especially if it's something that your dog can show off, take a picture, pop it online, tag them in it, because they love it. They love to see it. Lisa loves to see it. She will always comment back, and it will get shared around everywhere. So then your dog or cat will be obviously very, very famous before long. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I think that's time now for a little bit of music.